Hey Aquarius, this is Joe with Divine Daily Tarot, and I'm going to do your April 2020 money, career, finance, wealth, and abundance reading. And we will see where things go, but as a couple quick side notes, in my readings I read cards that jump out and fall out, as long as it's not a pile of cards. I read my cards intuitively first and then apply the face value. So I read cards maybe in a way that you might not be used to, but I think that one should always go with their gut and their intuition, and other messages that they get first. And then finally, how do you know this is for you? Well, if it makes you feel something, then you know it's for you. So with that said, let's move on and see what pops up for you for the month of April. Okay, Aquarius, hello. I'm back. I'm ready to roll. I gotta say, my 2-year-old is an Aquarius. And, Aquarius, I gotta say, he has the most amazing, wonderful personality, and I love him to death. So, I hope that's, I hope that's significant in the sense that it carries with him throughout his life. He really does fit a true Aquarius, as much as you can tell for a 2-year-old, because he truly just marches to the beat of his own drum, and I absolutely love it. So I want to see what you guys are up to for the month of April, for your finances, career, and work. I feel like some of you guys are just, guys and gals, are deciding to either go solo or maybe just take some time off from what you're doing. So we have the 2 of Wands. That's going to be around the first week of April. It's not an exact template. And speaking of wanting to just take some time off or to go solo, here's the 2 of Wands, and he's standing between the 2 wands holding a globe, and he's looking off in the distance, and what he wants isn't right where he's at. It's far off in the distance. So let's see what we can get. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is going to be a slow moving kind of slow moving energy, but a slow moving transition. The first word that comes to my mind. This is like a slow manifestation. That's what comes out. But we're going to keep laying cards and see if we can figure that out. You have the 4 of Pentacles. So speaking of slow moving energy, first thing I just really grab onto here is being comfortable, or maybe this is about wanting to be comfortable. So, and that doesn't just mean materially comfortable. It just means sometimes it's okay just being where you're at, even if you haven't, arrived to where it is that you're trying to get to. Long car rides all the time. You got to take a break. You got to get gas. You got to get food. So sometimes it's okay to just journey along at a slower pace. And so that's kind of what I feel this 4 of Pentacles is really saying, is the journey is just kind of it's kind of just going with the wind. And that's what I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles here, is saying that this is not a fast moving thing. See what the 4th week is. We have the Knight of Wands. So we have fast and slow, So we're going to see where this goes. And speaking of fast, bottom of the deck, this is very quick movement, quick decision. just something happening very fast. And sometimes it can be spontaneous, and sometimes it can be a surprise, an ambush, or anything like that. So let's start see if we can pull some messages out. So let's find out about this Two of Wands. Where are you wanting to go? What is it that you're looking at? That's what we want to know. What is it that you're looking at? Okay, the Hermit. So this is very you can't really get any clearer than this is like soul searching. I think that the first thing I get is I don't know if anybody knows what Dark Night of the Soul is. I'm sure many of you do, and I'm sure some of you don't. But this is kind of what I get, is this Dark Night of the Soul. So if you don't know what that is, read up on it, because it might actually tell you why you're feeling the way you feel, or give you some more insight. And the Dark Night of the Soul is almost like your whole reality being turned upside down and just saying, what the F? I am not who I thought I was, and I don't want what I thought I wanted. And just there's just all kinds of things that don't make sense. And there's a lot of internal anguish and pain, but on the outside, people often don't even know you're going through that. And then you come out and you are a changed person. So this looking off to what you don't have, to me, is very reminiscent of that. And then the Hermit is like very internal. It's very, sometimes it can be very heavy, and sometimes it can be very inspiring and light. And then we have the Magician. So this card's wanting to pop out on me quite a bit lately. And the Magician, really, you can't work your magic. You can't, until you know what it is you want. That's the first part of the recipe, to really truly know what you want and to feel it and really crave it and desire it. So that's the first part of that. But the second aspect of that is, coming from a place of passion. There are a lot of elements to co-creating reality, to manifestation, to whatever it is you want to call it. There's more than one ingredient to that. And wanting to, first of all, you need to know what it is that you really truly want, and you really need to feel it. And once you have some of those ingredients, it's a lot easier to make that happen. So I think this first week is maybe a little hard for you. It might feel a little dark, but really that's just at the onset. This might be something you are already just kind of experiencing, this whole Dark Night of the Soul. And this first week of April might be you coming out of that. I get some of you are voluntarily unemployed for whatever reason. And then this is perfect. The Knight of Pentacles for the second week, and to start things off, we have the Fool. And so the Knight of Pentacles isn't in a big hurry to get where he's going. And the onset of the Knight's mission or journey is not very fast. And the Fool is ambitious and carefree and a bit careless sometimes, maybe a bit naive, but nonetheless, the Fool is the absolute very beginning of this. So the second week of April, very well may find yourself actually taking those first steps out of this time period where you've maybe have felt very just unaware of really who you are. what you want, where it is that you're going, all those kind of big questions, kind of midlife crisis feeling kind of stuff. Excuse me. And then we have Three of Pentacles, another card that comes up a lot. And so this is really about harmony. So whoever you're working with, or if this is job, career, school, anything like that, whoever you're working with, you may find that you are starting to find some real balance, and not really just balance, but harmony. Like things are just really clicking and coming together almost effortlessly. There is just like this just ease, and so that comes with the Fool. So there is this refreshing new start in the second week, and whatever it is you are doing, it's going to feel kind of effortless. It's going to feel very new and very just clean. The third week, we are looking at Justice. So the Four of Pentacles, you know, early on in the very beginning, I had talked about just being comfortable where you're at, kind of just going with the flow, but really I don't think that that's where this is going. I feel like you've been holding on to a lot of things internally, and some of these things might have caused you some health issues, like anxiety and depression, stress, you know, other illnesses that may have manifested. And so this, whatever this trouble is a result of, there is equality coming. And this Justice is, yes, it's about balance and fairness and equal share, but I think this is also some kind of karmic thing too. I think that's why this Four of Pentacles to me just feels very reminiscent of some holding on to some very solemn, somber things. And this is something that you may have to continue to work on, but this Justice is telling you that things are going to be okay, but not just okay. Let me turn that up the right way. They are going to be fair, and whatever it is that has been taken from you, or whatever it is that you feel that you've been maybe robbed of in any sense, is going to be restored in the best possible way that it can be. Oh, we are going to take that for the third week. Queen of Wands. So if you start to find that Justice manifests this third week, or you're starting to feel a sense of that manifesting, and I don't think this comes all at once, that's really going to be a change in your power dynamic, your passion, and your overall kind of zeal. You will probably most likely find that that you are going to be standing in a more powerful position internally, and that's going to come out in a way that people are going to are going to notice. It's like when somebody meets a person and people say, oh, look at her, she's glowing. And that's what this is kind of saying to me. It's like almost like it's this big secret that you can't keep inside and people can see it on your face. That's kind of what this Queen of Wands to me is about. It's very spiritual. And the fourth week, we have the Empress, and this is not a literal pregnancy to me. Sometimes it can be, but this is the birthing of new things in your life. It's like a new dawn. It's very and it's directly opposing Justice. So this is like giving birth to new things, giving birth to things in your life that that you've been waiting for. And I think this is directly tied to this justice. And that's like I said, the beginning of it flowing in. This is not some kind of immediate, you know, instant karma kind of thing. This is like real justice, as good as justice can be, and it's beginning to start to show up. And we have the Five of Swords again. So this is like the devil creeping back in and trying to, you know, whisper in your ear things that aren't true. Maybe reminding you of your past. And this is something to be aware of, because the time frame it takes, because this is just the beginning, so the time frame this takes to play out could be many, many months. You're going to have many themes over the months playing out at the same time, and everything's going to be kind of like quantumly entangled. But this is a warning to not be your own worst enemy. You look at the Five of Swords here, is not only is he standing in the foreground looking miserable, but he's standing in the background with his arms raised. So this really is a choice. This is about a choice of what you're going to believe, whether it's somebody saying something to you or whether this is you talking to yourself. This is a warning to not fall into old patterns of self-doubt and self-destructive thoughts. And I think we need to just pull a couple more. This kind of sums up the month. What did we have on the bottom of the deck here? We had the Eight of Wands, so we have quick movement. So I think some of this is going to play out very quickly. I think you getting up and coming out of this kind of like dimly lit place that you've been hiding out in for a while, I think that's going to be very fast. You're going to just snap out of it, and you're going to come out, you know, from the Hermit to the Magician very quickly. And so I think that's something that might take you by surprise. And this couldn't be any more perfect. You have the Wheel of Fortune. We've been talking about justice, and sometimes the wheel is about karma. Less often it's about karma, but sometimes it very literally is about karma and things coming back around. And I think that this is what this is talking about. So overall, Pisces, I think this is an absolutely amazing month for you. I think it's definitely coming out of a very solemn, lonely place. And I think that you're going to find by the end of the month, things are going to be dynamically different. But there are some things, some old past things, and this is the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you treat yourself and your own internal dialogue. I think that's going to be your biggest downfall. Other than that, really, this is quite literally your oyster. And with that said, I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have any comments, please share your comments. Like, share, subscribe. I could use the love. If you enjoyed this video, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you for watching.